Hi, it's David Rowland. Have you ever heard of the phrase skinny fat? Now, primarily I'm talking to my middle-aged dudes at this point, but this does affect both males and females. But I had a friend of mine come up to me, again, middle-aged guy, about my age, and he said, "Hey Dave, I was just at the doctor's office and the doctor said that I'm skinny fat. Is that a real thing?" Well, I don't know if it's a real medical term, but it is actually a real scenario. And let me kind of run through some numbers for you and try to explain. Real briefly, again, he's a middle-aged friend, about my age, mid-50s. He's 5'10" and 185 pounds, and he's been 5'10" and 185 pounds for a long, long time. And kind of this where the problem lies, right here. Let me show you some numbers. So obviously I'm making some guesses and some assumptions with the numbers here when I look at years and body fat, but that doesn't negate the story that I want to share. So again, my buddy's 5'10", 185 pounds. In 1990, let's assume that he had about a normal male 15% body fat. That means he had 157 pounds of lean muscle, lean tissue in his body, and was carrying about 28 pounds of fat. I hope I did all my math right. A decade later, in the year 2000, his body fat increased to about 20%. That means he was carrying about 37 pounds of fat and 148 pounds of lean tissue. Decade later, 2010, his body fat increased to 25%, 46 pounds of fat and 139 pounds of lean tissue. And now, today in 2020, he's at about 30% body fat, 55 pounds of fat, and 130 pounds of lean tissue. Here's the scary thing about this. In each of these scenarios, he was 185 pounds. This is what skinny fat is. His weight has not changed, but his percentage of body fat has increased. Not only that, his amount of lean tissue, which is metabolic in nature, has decreased. This is the problem. Now, if you look at this, what's going on? Basically, he is losing about 10 pounds of muscle every decade, okay? And you see what's going on here is he's getting into this downward spiral of every year it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Now, I'm going to use some real rough numbers here, some real rough numbers. But in basically the 10 pounds of muscle that he lost in just this last decade alone, okay, what that means is that's equivalent to about 400 calories burned or not burned per day. Here's what I mean. In 2010 versus 2020, at the exact same activity level, if he's doing the exact same thing every day in 2010 versus 2020, he is burning approximately, and again, I'm making a lot of kind of assumptions here, but just to kind of give you a ballpark, he is burning about 400 calories less per day by doing the same thing, and that's because he is carrying less muscle than what he was before. That is the metabolic quotient of carrying muscle, okay? Watch any of the other videos. I have other videos on kind of how to surmount this, how to overcome this issue, but really the main things that you want to do are resistance training. This is absolutely why we need to be lifting weights. Number two, we need to have our nutrition on point to support that weight training. And number three, if you're doing a lot of cardio to fix this, to get that body percentage of the body fat percentage down, you're doing it wrong. Cardio is not going to fix this. In fact, depending on how much cardio you're doing and how bad your nutrition is, you could very likely end up making your whole scenario worse. Okay, I'm not saying cardio is bad for you. That's not what I'm saying. Cardio is great for your heart, but cardio is not the answer to this problem. Okay, hope that helps. If you wanted to dig into more fitness questions, let me know, and be happy to put together a program together for you, kind of dig into the macros and exactly what we can do for you to help stop this problem in your life. Have a great day.